So they're always going to ask you, what's your long-term goal? What's your vision? You're going to have that answer for that. You have to. You can't throw that back to them in a form of a question. But you just don't give it with a lot of passion. You say, well, I really like the creative side of the business. I also love marketing. I love PR. You know, and maybe you're a writer. Maybe you have a couple of scripts. Maybe you've done a short. You know, maybe you're shopping for an agent. I mean, that's not the time to tell them, you know, well, I'm a writer, I have 3 scripts, you know, I'm shopping for an agent right now, and almost had a deal last month. And then they go, you're too aggressive for me. You're not going to assist me. I just need you to answer phones. I don't need you to write these scripts. And then I need you to do filing. I need you to work my calendar. I need you to set some meetings. And so people talk themselves right out of the job that is for them. And then they call me up and they say, well, Ted, it wasn't meant for me. Yes, it was meant for you. You just talk too much. You talk about the things that weren't important. I mean, it has almost become imperative for me to coach people just on how to manage the day and how to behave in that space. So you make it about them. It's not about you. Let the interviewer spend most of the time talking. Those are the best interviews. There's a slight art to it. But if you just pay attention to people and you find out a little bit about what they need and what they want, you'll know what to say. I mean, it's not that difficult. But the interview is not about you, it's about them and their needs, and how you can best position yourself to meet their needs. Remember, you are not only interviewing for the job, but you're also interviewing for future jobs that they may have. So that's what you really want. If they don't hire you, sometimes they'll have someone internally, most of the time, especially if it's in a creative arena, it's already slotted for someone internally, like probably 80% of the time. And so they have to interview other people. But the reality is, if they like you, they'll bring you in for another position. I always encourage people after the interview to write a thank you note. You can send an email, but notes will usually sit on someone's desk for about a week. Emails are read and then deleted. Don't require them to do work. Trust in the interview. And what I mean by that is, I wouldn't ask them permission to follow back up on the interview. You know, can you let me know if you hire someone? I wouldn't require anything from them. I would try to send them a thank you note like immediately, maybe a day or 2 days. If you get into the next week, they probably won't remember you. You're just one of 10 people maybe they met. Show gratitude. It's really important that's probably one of the keys of the interview, that you show gratitude. If they think for one moment that you're unsure, or is the job going to make you happy, is it enough for you, they won't hire you. They won't hire you. So the response would be, thank you so much for interviewing with me. I love the opportunity to work with you. I know you're probably seeing a lot of people, but I just want to tell you I would love to work with you. Not with Disney, not with Warner Brothers or NBC, with you. Make it personal. People hire people they like, and they hire people that want to be there. I've never seen them come to me and say, you know, I don't like that person, but they have excellent skills, and I'm going to hire them anyway, Ted. But I've seen them have people with excellent skills that they did not like, and they would not hire them because they're going to have to be around you too much. Employers hire people they like. Common mistakes that people make during the interviews: they talk too much, don't finish people's sentences. You know, if they're telling you something you already know, don't try to impress them by, yep, I know that too. Yep, done that. Been there before too. Then they're just going to shut down on you. If they're telling you something you don't know, just pretend like you heard it for the first time. The thing about humans is that we love to teach, and we love to feel important to someone. We love to share knowledge. But if you shut me down and you already know the knowledge, then I feel like I can't impart anything to you. And when people impart knowledge, that's why relationships between teachers and students can be so powerful. Because the teacher's given a part of himself or herself to you. And then you take that. And then you grow up and you live a life of victory because of what they imparted to you. And both people win. So allow someone to do that, even if you know the answers. Don't be a know-it-all. Allow the interview to educate you, even when you already know. And this slide is, the last thing is listen, listen, listen. It's really important that you just listen. It's not that important that you, and Robert, we can go to the next one. It's not that important that you do a lot of talking. You know, there's a scripture in the Bible that says, even a fool is believed to be wise when he shuts his mouth and says nothing. I mean, we already know he's a fool. But he's believed to be wise when he shuts his mouth and says nothing. So the most important thing that I'm learning in my life now is just to be quiet. And I run the agency. It's hard. It's challenging. It's under Ted. And okay.
For some reason, it's not wanting to come up.
Okay. So this next slide that I want to show you, I just want to touch on this, and then we'll get into the interviews. This is an image of my daughter. That's Jamie. That's how Jamie wears her hair today. Jamie is she's a sassy little girl, but she's the love of my life, and she's very humble, but she's very opinionated, extremely opinionated. So I'm always telling Jamie, let people show you who they are before you give them your opinion. So Jamie was at USC. She was interned at Disney, and they were doing Princess and the Frog. And Disney wasn't happy with the reference for the princess. The reference is the person that actually sit down and draw the likeness and image and make her the princess. So someone says, well, there's a cute little black girl that's working down at Post. And so they went down, they met with her, then the head animator came and talked to her. He's the one also who drew Belle and Little Mermaid. And Jamie says, Dad, they want me to be a reference? I had no clue what that was. And then our neighbor told us, no, this is what a reference is. So the next picture is, that's Jamie at the time that they actually drew her. And as you can see, her hair's hanging in her eye, and it curls. And the animator says, does it naturally curl like that? And she said, yeah. And so animators are amazing because they capture every image, every likeness. And I went down to see her, and they were drawing the princess. And you saw her real time crying, then animated. And it was on like a little swivel, and every second it turns. I said, wow, Jamie, that's really you. She said, I know, isn't it sickening? You know. And so the next slide is the princess and Jamie. So you can see the likeness. The next slide actually is the princess in her gown. And the night that Jamie went to the premiere, the animators had been working on Jamie for months. And had never met her. They just saw these images. And so she goes to the bathroom, and one of the animators comes up and says, wow, you look just like the princess. And she says, yeah, they used me as a reference. So that's Jamie in her gown the night of the premiere. So I tell that story because, you know, a lot of times, I mean, you guys are like, you're living the life that we already lived. You know, we've been there, we've done what you've done. You know, and so there's some things that we learn. There's some things in this generation that were never on this earth before, the way things happen, the way things move. But there's some things that are basic. How you treat people, how you want to be treated, you know, your aspirations, your goals, and your dreams. How do I achieve them? You know, that's the dream of every person. And there's some fundamental things that need to happen. And sometimes we'll meet people that will step outside the box, and then we think, okay, we need to be like that. No, you don't. You need to stay humble. You need to stay respectful. But you need opportunity. Jamie is working in post. She's editing. She thought she wanted to be an editor. But after being there 3 months, she says, do you know what editors do? They just sit and stare at a computer all day. I do not want to do that, Dad. And so, you know, she switched. But they found her in post, in the basement of the animation building at Disney, because she was there. So, you know, if you have opportunities to be employed, and you're not working, take it. I'm not saying that you go somewhere that you're going to be miserable, but take it. You have no idea who's there and who may meet you, who may be your future of your dreams, and may lead the path to where you want to go. One thing is true, that if you're going to have success in this business, someone's going to have to like you. And someone's going to have to embrace you. So be kind to everyone you meet, and work hard and have a spirit of excellence. Thank you very much.